Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles and bishops of Great Stone, to the Akim Akwath, throughout the four corners of the earth, holding on in sincerity and in truth to the gospel of Lord Amashak Yahushai in these days and times, this brother Menashe, with diligence of heart. You just have to put up this lesson because it's important we understand that the Spirit of the Lord is upon His servants, the prophets, all right? And the vibration of what the Lord revealed unto our forefather Noah, it's real, all right? You know, we're seeing signs about what the Lord is about to do, and we just have to make it known to our people, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans, all right? Throughout the four corners of the earth, we just have to let them know that what the Lord revealed to our forefather Noah is something substantial that we cannot continue to overlook and ignore, despite all these distractions in the world. Yeah, because you know how it is, man. You know, you do a lesson, and then you know you fellowship with the brotherhood to serve the Lord, and then you know the Lord shows you exactly, you know, that His words are faithful and true, and we have to take heed to them. We have to be circumspect, man, because the Lord is always going to show His secrets, all right, in subtle ways, and you have to be quick in the spirit, all right, just like the Lord was quick in the spirit. Yeah, you gotta be quick in the spirit to pick up on spiritual things, all right. So it's one of those experiences you're gonna have in this ministry, man, on a regular basis. When the Lord, you know, decides to open up your mind, then you start seeing the signs around you that it's gonna be horrible, man. It's gonna be horrible. You know, it's gonna be horrible. So I read from the book of Mark, chapter 16, concerning what Yahushua had to declare unto his servants, the apostles. So then, after the Lord had spoken unto them, he was received into heaven, all right? So the angels came to beam him up into the chariots, all right? What the world so calls UFO, all right? He was received into heaven and sat on the right hand of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kadash, all right? And they went forth, right, the apostles, and they went forth and preached everywhere, the Lord working with them and confirming the word with signs following. Amen. So as the Lord has called the servants of prophets to speak His word in sincerity and truth unto the people, His people, the Israelites, He's going to back it up with signs, all right? Signs that can never be refuted. And it's happening, you know, it's happening, you know, whether it's the situation over there in the Middle East, whether it's the economic situation, you know, we're seeing the uproars of the people, we're seeing the degradation of the environment of the world as a whole. Yeah, so we see it coming, man. All those signs are converging. They're converging, you know, and when they hit that sweet spot, a lot of people are going to be caught off guard, you know, just like when we continue to remember the times of Noah, you know, right? The signs, the warning signs were there, but the people chose not to take heed, all right? So that's why we have to abide in this ministry, with an open heart, open mind to receive the words of the Lord. You got to pray the Lord give you a spirit, a quickening spirit to pick up on things that are about to happen. Things, the words of prophecy. All right. So I go real quick straight to the book of Second Ezra chapter 9. Let's see. Go to verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand. It is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world he made. So it's coming, Akim. It's coming, Akweth. It's coming. We see it. It's coming, man. We see it in the heavens, man. We see it in the heavens. Just like during the times of Noah, folks didn't believe that it was going to rain and all that stuff. And definitely always, how I say, to make a educated conclusion that it never even thundered and there was no lightning in those days. You could, reach that type of conclusion that the people never ever knew what thunder and lightning was during those days until when it began to rain, until when the clouds began to form, the dark clouds, and all of a sudden they hear a little grumbling in the heavens. Just like someone's stomach, growling and all that stuff, man. Like, what is that? And all of a sudden, the clouds started to get bigger and darker, cloudy days. If I started with cloudy days, like, wow, man, the sun is not even shining. What's going on? Because when you're around and it's a rainy day, you don't really see the sunlight, man. You see it's cloudy and cloudy. The whole sky is covered with clouds. So that's probably how it started. And then all that stuff started to accumulate, and then you start hearing thunders, and then before you know it, lightning, here and there, and then it started to rain. And then it started to rain, and the people realized that, what, this is something strange that they've never seen before, but too late, too late for them. That they didn't take heed to what our forefather Noah was warning them, to prepare themselves for. And that's just what it is. And then verse 3 says this, 2 Ezra 9:3, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Yes, there's going to be a instability. What's going to cause uproars of the people? Poor leadership, from the government, economic stress, all that, poverty, plagues and all that stuff. That's what is going to cause the people to be rioting in the streets, being upset at their government for not looking after them. Folks will be running around looking for answers, but what answers are they going to get? They were not prepared for the calamities that are coming upon the face of the earth. That's why they'll be out there on the streets, crying and yelling and screaming, trying to take back their so-called countries and screaming for democracy. But hey, democracy has no hold on prophecy, all right? Yeah, that's what it is, man. Democracy is the servant to prophecy. That's what people don't really understand, man. All these so-called styles of rulership, they're all, ways of the Lord that he uses to bring about his prophecies to pass, all right? And the people drink that cup of illusionade, all right? Illusionade. Yeah, and they get high and get tipsy off it, man. And they're out there on the streets, they're angry and yelling and screaming, no justice, no peace. Whose streets? Our streets. you know. Yeah, so it's gonna be chaotic, man. A lot of people are gonna be caught unawares, so you gotta be circumspect, man. All right. So let's get one more precept, and yes, go to Second Ezra 15 and 1. It says, but behold, all right, Second Ezra 15 and 1, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. So remember what Yahweh Shai made his apostles do, to preach his words, and he gave them the authority and the signs that accompanied that, okay, because his spirit was upon them to get his work done, to accomplish his commandments, all right, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, all right, things that will take place in the future, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Yep. So that's something that it's helpful to recollect, that the words of prophecy, man, has to take place, man. When Noah was prophesying, warning the people, but they never took heed. And even though he didn't write it down in paper, but when they saw the signs, it was too late for them. It was too late, and they perished because of their unbelief, all right, the lack of faith. All right. So let's get another precept. Okay. It's going to be from the book of Sirach. All right. Sirach chapter 37. And look at verse 12. It says this, but be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry. So the Lord has to let you know the type of company you should keep in this ministry. How you're gonna get through your captivity without losing your mind. You have to be acquainted with a godly man. All right. Sirach chapter 37 verse 12. But be continually with a godly man. So you have to be according to his mindset. You have to be according to his aspirations to better himself, to receive salvation. All right, working out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All right. All right, Sirach 37 and 12. But be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest. All right. So you've seen his works. All right. You've seen his track record, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord. All right, so you've fully vetted his reputation, whose mind is according to thy mind. All right, so you guys think the same thing when it concerns the matters of the scriptures. All right, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry. So bearing each other's burden, empathy. All right, so that's just what it is, man. When it comes to serve the Lord, you have to prepare yourself, to be fellowshipping with brothers that understand what you're going through. You can't go through this journey alone by yourself. That's why the Lord had to have his apostles, man. He had to have them, work it out. They all came together, had the meetings, the gatherings to decide what they're going to do, how they're going to operate and manage the affairs of the ministry that the Lord Hamashiach Yahushai had entrusted into their care. All right, the Lord made them overseers of the flock, so they had to take into consideration. Let me say they have to be accountable for their lot. All right. So we look at the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 27. So look at that. It says, in fact, this chapter talks about it during the times of Noah. All right. But the point I want to make is Matthew 24 and 27. For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Yeah, so you're going to see some strange happenings in the heavens, man. When the Lord Amashak Yahushai it's on his way to, on his return, his second return. Oh boy, in the midst of World War III, man, the heavens is going to be a huge revelation, man. A huge and scary time for the people that are upon the face of the earth. All right, so it's going to be heavy, man. Strange. The heaven's going to be much more stranger. It's like you see the series on Netflix, Strange Things. Strange Things. Yeah, it's more stranger than the times of Noah. All right, so it's gonna be chaotic. All right, who even knows if it's gonna rain in those days, man? But for certain, we know those that nuclear heat has to be deployed, man. All right, so precept from the book of Baruch, chapter 3. I look at verse 5, and this is what it says: remember not the iniquities of our forefathers. All right, so we're begging for mercy to be delivered. All right, in the times of the chaos that's coming upon the face of the earth. Right, just like we read. It's in the book of. Let me pull it up real quick, man. It's in the book of Haggai. I'm not sure. Habakkuk. Remember mercy. Or let's see. Yeah, Habakkuk. Yep, book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 2. O Lord, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. The thunderings of the Lord, the wrath of the Lord, the prophecy of the Lord out of the mouth of his prophets. All right, I was afraid. O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known. All right, so you want to be kept in line by the warnings of the Lord, by the words of his prophecy. All right, that he's using his prophets to update the people on what the Lord intends to do and how they can get themselves right. Okay, in the midst of the years, make known. In wrath, remember mercy. All right, so the wrath of the Lord is going to be visited upon the face of the earth. That's why, Baruch, forefather Baruch, had to mention this. Remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, but think upon thy power and thy name now at this time. And that's what we're looking forward to, man. That the Lord remember, remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, all right? But think upon thy power and thy name now at this time. For thou art the Lord our power, and thee, O Lord, will we praise. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts. Just like the Lord put his fear in the hearts of Noah, that's the type of fear we need to have in our minds in the coming days of chaos upon the face of the earth, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity. For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee. So this is the reason why, brothers are constantly always praying, man. Always rehearsing the righteous acts so that we do not get condemned with the world when the wrath of the Lord is coming upon the face of the earth. Okay, so hey, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, 1 and 2. The Lord should visit the world that He made, and we gotta be on point when it comes to our salvation, man. So from the book of Psalms chapter 50, read verse 22 and verse 23. It says, "Now consider this, ye that forget Yahweh Hashem Hashem Ba'ashem Kakadash, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver." So that's a warning sign from the Lord, all right? Just like Baruch was talking about the Lord helping us out in the times of His wrath, then we need the Lord to have mercy upon us when things are about to get worse, okay? Now, verse 23 says what? "Whoso offereth praise glorifieth me," all right? Psalms 50 and 23, "Whoso offereth praise glorifieth me, and to him that ordereth his conversation aright will I show the salvation of Yahweh." So that's the same thing that we've been praying for, man. That the Lord grant us that spirit of correction, the spirit of repentance, all right? Psalms 50 and 23, "Whoso offereth praise glorifieth me, and to him that ordereth his conversation aright will I show the salvation of Yahweh." So salvation is what we always are aiming for, right? That's what we're seeking for, seriously, because we don't want to be counted as chaff, as dung in these last days, man. We want to be accounted as the peculiar treasure of the Lord, to be reserved for salvation, to be set apart from all these calamities that are coming upon the face of the earth. Yeah, it's scary. We just have to deal with it. And, hey, you just have to keep on pushing, man. You have to order your conversation aright on a daily basis. Just like the Day of Atonement, we're working hard, man. We're working out our salvation with fear and trembling. And another precept we can also dive into before in the book of 1 Peter. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 12. "Having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, that, whereas they speak against you as evildoers," so folks will always want to, tarnish your character, man. All right, bug out the bug outs of this world, man. "They may by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify Yahweh in the day of visitation." So when the Lord's about to reward you, they're going to recall all the righteous deeds that are attributed, to your character. All right. So that's what it is, man. That's what it is. You have to submit yourself to the will of the Lord. In other words, you want to have an upper hand, in the day of visitation, man, the day of restitution, all right? So the Lord is paving the way for us to get ourselves in order before the dreadful, the dreadful day of the Lord, man. The dreadful day of the Lord. Yeah, so it's scary, man. Just what I gotta say. It's scary, to see the destruction upon the face of the earth and be delivered from it, man. You don't want to be in the midst midst of the destruction. You want to be outside that environment. That's why we pray the Lord deliver us in those days. All right. So final precept will be from the book of Ezekiel. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 25 and verse 26. Here it's scary, Akim. It's scary. When you see the signs, man, the Lord show you the signs that the destruction is coming. It doesn't even have to show it to you in a vision. He just shows you through all these numbers and patterns around you, man. All right. Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 25. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. That's a sad, environment to be in, man. An environment of destruction in a war zone, in a zone, plagued by diseases and famine and disaster, and there is no rest, there is no peace of mind. That's a horrible way to live life. All right. Now it says in verse 26, Ezekiel 7:26, mischief shall come upon mischief. It's going to be a domino effect. The domino is just going to keep falling and falling, one after the other. One problem after the next one. Just like the scripture talks about, the man runs away from a lion, met a bear, ran away from a bear, put his hand on the wall, trying to catch his breath. Behold, a serpent, a viper. Yeah, Ezekiel 7:26, mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet. All right. But the law shall perish from the priests, and counsel from the ancients. Just the book of Matthew chapter 25, the parable of the 10 virgins. Yeah. So the people are going to be looking for answers in those days, man, but there will be none for them. All right. There will be none for them to make use of, man. Even if they get the answers, what profit is it going to benefit them if they do not have faith in the Lord? Their foundation wasn't prepared in time. All right, Scripture talks about tarry not to turn to the Lord, from the days of their youth, where there's the evil days and the days of calamity come not. Yeah, so this is just what it is, man. That's what we praying the Lord hide us from all these calamities that will be coming upon the face of the earth. We're only dealing with captivity right now. You can imagine captivity and destruction that's never been ever witnessed before. So we're praying that the Lord deliver us, man, because the sign is coming. The sign is there. More signs are coming. All right, the sign is there. The signs are there, and more signs are on the way. That's a prophecy of the Lord, and that's why it's scary, man. It shakes your mind, out of that zone of ignorance. You have to be aware. You have to be knowledgeable about the times we're living in. All right. So that's the point there, Akim. Barataza, you've been edified, and hey, destruction, man. Destruction is on its way, man. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Yeah, so the days of mirth is finally coming to an end. The stock market goes up, it doesn't really change anything. It's just a distraction that a lot of people are going to get caught up in, and they are not going to be prepared when the Lord begins to bring his calamities upon the face of the earth. So, let's just abide, with the Spirit of the Lord and fellowship with those that are conversant in the scriptures of the Lord, Amashak Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash. So that's the point, the Akim, my brothers, I've been edified, and till then, Shalom.